as Chainsaw Man is going, we're a little bit past six or the half year point when it comes out of December. So this is what, like about a little over month 7. There's been pretty good character so far. There's clearly plans for Denji to become a deeper character as the story goes and develop him as it is. But Aki is already like a pretty deep character. Like he's had a lot of pretty like well written and like just shown out aspects of his character, but also just some of the darker things that are set up for it. I really hope he doesn't die. But he's now facing the future devil and he wants to form a contract with it, and the guy's talking to him. And he's like, I thought this was just a funny panel. I thought about using it, but it just, I don't know, it was just kind of weird to look at to the point where I didn't want to do it. When I guess the thing with the future devil is when you form a contract with him, he wants to look at your future, and then based off your future is what he will decide whether or not, what his requirements for if he decides to go into a contract with you. And he's like, all right, you have to put your head inside of my stomach. And so you have just Aki go up and just like hold his head in there, and it's such a weird looking panel. You know what I'm talking about if you've read it. But when he says he's going to form a contract, when there was like one guy that gave up half his life, and one person gave up their eyes, their sense of taste and smell, and here all the guy wants is to live in Aki's eye. He wants to live in his right eye. And it's like, okay, why does he want to do that? But he says the reason that is that Aki is going to die in the worst possible way. I'm hoping that it's not literally like death. I'm hoping it's more of like a more of like a metaphorical death, because I'm hoping he becomes a hybrid similar to Denji, and it's more of like the death of who he was, and he hates this gun devil. Maybe it will have something to do with like the death of pretty much who he is as a person, and becoming like what he hates the most. I don't know. I'm worried about that. I'm really worried about his character, and I just don't want anything bad to happen to him, because again, so far Denji, I feel like, is the favorite because he's the main character. He's very different and wild, and he's got his badass chainsaw form. But Aki is, I'd say at the moment he's got the most of his story, and I just don't want him to die so bad. And right after Himeno died too, and like the dude is like the future devil's like, I could tell you how you die, and Aki's like, I don't care. I absolutely don't care. I don't care how I die, as long as all this gets to the point where I get to kill the person that I want to kill, then I don't give a shit. And I'm just like, God, this dude is just opening up I'm hoping it's so overly death flag that he doesn't die. So like the one character, like all these other characters, you just don't expect it, and then bam, they're dead. But it's like the one character is gonna die, ends up not dying. Please, Fujimoto, don't do this to me. Don't kill off Aki. But I'll get back to the trainer dude hanging out with Denji and Power, and he's like, yeah, you guys are doing better now. Now instead of doing this every day, we're gonna go into this as a weekly, which I was really hoping was gonna be a trick, and he was gonna fuck with them even more. But then he's like, okay, now we're gonna, even though that we're gonna go into weekly training, now it's gonna be real. So he's just been fucking with him the whole time. This has been easy for him, and going forward, they're gonna do some real stuff. And from that, they're also gonna do actual combat, because they're gonna go after the Yakuza guy, swords, and the Snake Girl. Oh my god, I already forgot her name. Sawa. Oh my god, Sawagiri. I can't remember. We've only seen her like in that one scene, and her name's only been dropped a few times. But you know what I mean. With the Snake Devil, spooky creature. And he's just talking about, this will be the first time the new Division 4 goes out. They're the special division. They're full of crazies. And he's like, if we fail, Division 4 is done, and he will take them seriously, and he'll kill Aki and Power by, with his own hands. Which is, I feel like we know. I can't predict Fujimoto, but I feel like he wouldn't. I feel like he wouldn't have them fail after all this. I feel like he's gonna have a lot of crazy shit happen in the arc during this up and coming, hunting down of the Gun Devil's lackeys. But there's gonna be a lot of craziness, but they have to defeat these guys in the process. I feel like that end point, we can say, yeah, that'll happen, but we don't know what's going to happen up until then, who's going to live and who's going to die. The only characters I'd say, they're obviously ones that won't die during this, Power, Denji, Makima, Aki, and this new dude. Because this new dude is clearly too powerful to die so early. We don't have a name for him. Makima as well. Aki's already set to die later, and then Power and Denji, I don't see them die at this point. You know, main character. Well, Denji especially is the main character, but Power is the female lead. And then there was a cool part from Denji, and he's just like talking about how, like, you know, if that happens, he's like, I'll let you go without killing you. And he's you know, he's being a little cocky. He's just being Denji. And he's happy because now he's gotten stronger and he can kill more devils, and he's getting closer to his date with Makima. That was a nice little interaction, but I was very intrigued more of this portion of the chapter where you have the training dude talking to Makima, and he's like, I've already, I've been training them. I'm already kind of getting sick of them. He's like, every time I train a dog, every time a dog I train dies, I drink more and more. He's much more of like, he drinks his troubles and sadness away. And he even says, like, I thought with toys, I'd feel no guilt even if they broke. But he's like, my mind's gotten weak with age, and he still has some feeling towards them. He's got a little bit of teacher and student thing going on with them. He gets a little attached, but he does notice with Makima, which I really think is cool, because he's like, the ambush. He knows that she saw it coming and she let it happen, which I still think Makima let it all happen in order to, rise up in her rank and position, but also kind of make things more severe so she can get more free range with Division 4. Spooky. Like, she's a spooky woman. I feel like she's gonna end up being a villain. Like, she just seems like one of those characters. And with that, he's like, listen, I don't know what exactly your plan is, but as long as you're overall on the side of humanity and, humans, then I can look the other way for things. But when she's like talking to him, and she's like, this mission needs to succeed because the existence of Division 4 is very much set on it. And Division 4, after succeeding, will have more freedom to operate, and they can save more people. And the dude looks at her and he calls her a liar. And she just looks at him and smiles, which is creepy as fuck, because you can tell she finds some joy out of someone being able to, see behind her lies. And Makima is legitimately a really creepy character. And you have all these characters who are, you got chainsaw wielding badasses and blood manipulating crazies and giant monsters and whatnot. This chick is legitimately the only one that, like, gives me some chill vibes. Like, because she just seems like she's got so many things going on, so many plans and so many schemes. And yet at the same time, we don't know the extent of what she knows and what she's doing, what connection she has. She's a legitimately really interesting villain. I think, personally, right now, I think most people would probably like gush over Tamura and My Hero Academia. Is he the best villain in modern shonen and something? I don't think so. Right now my money is in with Geto and Mahito from Jujutsu Kaisen, but at least in Shonen Jump, I'll say. In Shonen Jump, I don't want to undersell my strong opinions on Zeref, but in the current Shonen Jump, I think Makima has the potential to be a pretty big contender. Like, she just gives off these mastermind vibes, which will be really cool to see. Then we go over Snake Chick, who, again, can't pronounce her name, but she's talking to the Yakuza dude, and they're like talking about just the situation. He's upset because, he didn't get to kill Denji, and he really wants to take her out next time they fight. He wants to rip his heart out of Denji's body. But they're talking about how it doesn't really matter because, even if dies will revive, Denji's immortal. And but he says, he's like, don't worry about your leader. And I'm a little bit, I think he's talking about the dude's granddad, because the dude was part of the zombie devil. And he's talking about their secret weapon. He's like, you just need to not get bit. And it shows a bunch of the zombies. They have a whole bunch of zombies kept up in in containment. And they're going classic zombies, because they're saying, like, the parting gift of of the guy's grandfather is all these leftover zombies, because he made the contract with that zombie devil. And it looks like we're going classic zombies, like full on raw classic, dangerous in number zombies, which is gonna be sick, because that means tons of zombies, tons of expendables. Denji's gonna go fucking ham and just go chainsaw wild and start going gore all over these guys whenever we fight them. And I like that. I like that we're gonna get. This is going to be their, their fodder units. So, you got their box characters, like this chick. Again, I think her name is Sawatiri. I can't remember. Sawa's definitely in there. But her, the Yakuza dude, any of the other important members they've got we haven't met yet. But this looks like it's going to be their their fodder units. They got guys with guns and zombies, and it's going to be really fun to see them. But I also really like that even after dead, the zombie devils. Zombies, rather. I was trying to think of like what could I use for zombies. It's not ghouls, but zombies are still up. So even in the after effects, like his abilities are still in place, which is cool. So it's much more like an infection. Again, much more like classical zombies rather than like some power manipulation. So tell me in the comments what you thought about this chapter. Pretty interesting stuff. I really liked Aki's stuff. Again, I'm worried that he's gonna die. And Makima just freaked out. Like she just has this very spooky thing about like aura about her character. Like that like soft smile it's very weird. And again, it won't surprise me if she like we get a part later where we see like all the big shots of the devil hunters and stuff, and she just slowly like they start slowly getting picked off, and we find out it's all because of her, and she just becomes in charge of all of them, and she becomes a villain of her own. Spooky stuff. Again, tell me in the comments. I guess thumbs up the video, from the like button, subscribe button. Tell your friends to read Chainsaw Man. It's fucking awesome. And like I said, thumbs up the video. And did I already say before the like button? Oh my god. Never mind. Thanks everyone. Yeah, I lost my train of thought in my outro because I want to shield Chainsaw Man. But thanks everyone who's already subscribed, and thank you for listening. Bye.